A billionaire walked into an orphanage to write a check. A 4-year-old boy ran straight to him, held on tight, and said one word, "Daddy." He had never seen this child before, but in that boy's pocket was his photo, kept there by someone who had been hiding the truth for 6 years. Before we begin, subscribe, like, and share. Comment below where you're watching from, and rate this story from 0 to 10 at the end. Enjoy the story, everyone. Some moments don't announce themselves. They just arrive. Nathan Cole had written a check 3 days earlier, signed it without looking at the amount, handed it to Owen, and moved on to the next thing, because that's what he did. He moved on. Always forward. Never sideways. Never back. The visit was Owen's idea. Good optics, he had said. 40 minutes. Photo. Done. Nathan walked into Sunridge Orphanage the way he walked into every room, like he already knew how it would end. He was wrong. The children were gathered near the far wall. Small faces. Quiet eyes. A woman, Diana Park, extended her hand and smiled professionally. Nathan nodded, checked his watch. 35 minutes left. Then the room shifted. A boy broke from the group. 4 years old. Small. Fast. Nobody reached him in time. He ran straight across the room, arms completely open, and wrapped himself around Nathan's legs with a grip that made moving impossible. Nathan looked down. The boy looked up. Dark eyes. Familiar jaw. A certainty in his expression that had no business being there. Then one word. Quiet. Absolute. Devastating. Daddy. Nathan Cole had never seen this child before in his entire life. And yet, something in his chest cracked open, like a fault line that had always been there, waiting. Diana appeared before the moment could settle. Her hand was already reaching for Luca. Gentle, practiced. The way someone reaches for something fragile they have caught before. Luca, come here, sweetheart. She looked at Nathan with an apology already forming. I'm so sorry, Mr. Cole. He sometimes gets so NF. What did he just call me? Quiet. Precise. Impossible to ignore. Diana stopped. The room stopped with her. Nathan wasn't looking at her anymore. He was looking at Luca, and Luca was looking straight back, completely still, completely certain, like a child who had never once doubted a single thing he knew. What's his story? Nathan asked. Diana's pause lasted 1 second too long. Luca had been at Sunridge for 2 years, brought in at age 2 by a social worker. No parents listed, no relatives traced, no records of where he came from or who had sent him. Just a name, Luca Vega, and one item was found in his pocket the day he arrived. A photograph. Nathan felt something cold move through him. Can I see it? Diana came back with something small, worn at the edges, placed it on the table between them. Nathan picked it up, and the ground moved beneath his feet. It was a photo of him. Nathan didn't move for a long time. Diana's office was small, quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against you when something has just changed and your mind hasn't caught up yet. The photo was still in his hand. It was him, 5 or 6 years younger, standing outside his old office building. A candid shot, the kind someone takes when you aren't looking, when you don't know you're being remembered. Who takes a photo like that? Who gives it to a 2-year-old boy? Owen appeared in the doorway, tablet in hand, expression professionally neutral. Sir, your 3 p.m. is. Cancel it. The board won't. Cancel everything. Owen didn't argue. He never did when Nathan used that tone. The door closed quietly behind him. Nathan placed the photo on Diana's desk, carefully, like it was evidence. Luca Vega. He said it slowly. His mother's last name was Vega. Diana nodded. Something cautious was moving behind her eyes. Do you have any record of her? A name? Anything at all? Diana opened a file, slid a single sheet across the desk without a word. One name. Sofia Vega. Nathan read it. Read it again. And somewhere deep in his memory, something shifted, like a door he had forgotten existed, starting, very slowly, to open. Nathan got back to his office and did something he almost never did. He sat still. No calls. No emails. No. Owen appeared with the next thing that needed deciding. Just Nathan, in a chair that had held 1,000 important moments, holding one name in his mind like something he was afraid to put down. Sofia Vega. It was familiar, not loudly, not in the way that important things are familiar, in the way that buried things are quiet just beneath the surface, waiting. He asked Owen to pull old employee records. 7 years back, Owen returned 20 minutes later with a thin file and an expression that said he already knew this wasn't routine. Nathan opened it. Sofia Vega, junior analyst, hired 6 years ago. Performance reviews used words like brilliant, precise, and unusually perceptive. The kind of words that make you wonder why someone left. She hadn't left. She had vanished. No notice, no explanation, no forwarding address. Gone in a single day. Like someone who didn't choose to go, but had no choice. Nathan found her photo near the back of the file. Young, dark eyes, a quiet smile that didn't ask for anything. He remembered her now. A company event, a brief conversation. He had thought nothing of it. She had disappeared. And now, 6 years later, her son was in an orphanage, calling him Daddy. Nathan set the file down slowly and felt something he hadn't felt in longer than he could remember. Fear. Nathan made one call that night. No explanation, no context, just a name and a number, and the words find everything. 72 hours later, the first layer peeled back. Sofia Vega had not resigned. She had been removed. Her access was revoked overnight. No warning, no meeting, no reason given. Her severance was paid in cash through a third-party account, and buried inside that payment is a non-disclosure agreement, signed under pressure, the kind of pressure that doesn't leave marks. Someone inside Nathan's company had done this. Someone with enough authority to make it look clean, to make it look like nothing at all. Then the investigator called again. Sofia had been pregnant when she left. Nathan didn't speak for a long moment. There was more. Sofia Vega had died 3 years ago, alone in a small apartment 2 cities away. Luca had been 4 months old when she brought him to Sunridge. She was already sick, already running out of time, already knowing exactly what she was doing. She had carried his child alone, raised him alone, died alone, and left that child with one single thing, a photo of the father who never knew he existed. Nathan looked at the bottom of the report. One name, the person who had signed Sofia's termination paperwork, Richard Hale. Richard Hale's office was on the top floor. It always had been. 15 years, same desk, same view, same man who handled everything Nathan didn't want to touch. The decisions that needed distance, the problems that needed to disappear. Nathan trusted him more than anyone in the building. Past tense. He placed the investigator's report on the desk without a word. Richard didn't reach for it, didn't look at it. He looked at Nathan steadily, like a man who had been waiting for a knock on this particular door for a very long time. The silence said everything before either of them spoke. You knew. Richard didn't deny it. He leaned back slowly, the way someone leans back when they have already decided how this conversation will go. She was going to complicate everything. You were in the middle of the most critical expansion in the company's history. A pregnancy, a scandal. It would have buried us. She wasn't a scandal. Nathan's voice was completely quiet, completely controlled. She was carrying my son. You didn't know that. Because you made sure I didn't. Something moved across Richard's face. Not guilt, not regret, just a calculation. Even now, I made a decision that protected this company. The same way I've made 1,000 decisions that built everything you have. Nathan looked at him for a long moment. The man he had trusted for 15 years. The man who had sat beside him through every hard call, every risk, and every moment that defined what they had built together. He picked up the report. Get out of my building. Nathan didn't call ahead. He just drove. Diana Park opened the door before he reached it, surprised. Something cautious moving behind her eyes. Mr. Cole, if this is about yesterday, I need to see him. She stepped aside. Luca was in the courtyard with the other children, running, laughing, completely unaware, and then suddenly not. He stopped, looked up, found Nathan across the distance, the way you find something you have been looking for without knowing you were looking for it. And he walked forward, not running this time. No urgency, no desperation, just the steady, unhurried calm of a child who had always known this moment would come and was in no rush because he had never once doubted it. Nathan crouched down, eye level. "Hey, buddy. You came back," Luca said. Not a question, not surprised. Just a fact being confirmed. The way you confirm something you already knew. "I came back. I knew you would." Nathan felt something break loose in his chest that he had absolutely no words for. "How did you know?" Luca reached into his pocket, slowly, the way a child reaches for something carried so long that it has become part of them. The worn photograph, small hand, outstretched, offering it like a gift that had always belonged to him. "Mama said you would." Nathan took it, and for the first time in his adult life, Nathan Cole could not hold himself together. Diana called him back before he reached the door. "There's something else." She said it quietly, the way people say things they have been holding on to, waiting for the right moment. Not entirely sure it has arrived, but certain they couldn't wait any longer. She placed an envelope on the desk, small, worn at the edges. Luca's name is written on the front in careful handwriting, and beneath it was a single line that stopped Nathan completely. "To be given to his father when he comes." She had known. Sofia had known, even then, even alone, even running out of time, that he would come. Nathan held the envelope for a long time before opening it. Sofia's handwriting was small, careful, unhurried, like someone who had chosen every word and meant all of them. She wrote about Luca, about who he was, the way he laughed, his fear of loud noises, his love of anything with wheels. She wrote like a mother introducing her son to someone she trusted, not like a woman who had been abandoned. No anger, no accusation, not one word of it, just this: "I don't know if you knew about him or if you were kept from knowing. Either way, he is the best thing I have ever done. He deserves a father. He deserves to be chosen." And at the very end, one line: "His eyes are yours. I hope you see yourself in them the way I always did." Nathan read it 4 times before he could move. Then he folded the letter, placed it in his jacket pocket, close, and made every decision that needed to be made. Nothing about it was simple. Richard Hale had lost his position, his office, his name on the building, but he had not lost his lawyers. And in a final act of a man who had always confused power with righteousness, he used them. Complaints filed, delays created, hearings scheduled and rescheduled. Every step that should have taken days stretched into weeks. Richard's legal team stood in courtrooms and argued, with straight faces, that a single millionaire with a corporate empire was not a suitable parent. Nathan sat through every hearing, answered every question, did not lose his composure once. Not when they questioned his hours, not when they questioned his lifestyle, not when they sat across from him and implied that a man who had built everything from nothing was somehow not enough for one small boy. He just answered, clearly, quietly, every single time. Owen had been working in the background for weeks, gathering, documenting, waiting for the right moment. It came on a Tuesday. Security footage. 7 years old. Richard on camera. Meeting with a lawyer the same week Sofia's access was revoked. Discussing the removal of a pregnant employee like it was a line item on a spreadsheet. The case against Nathan collapsed the same afternoon, and the adoption was approved before the day was done. Nathan walked out of that courtroom without stopping to speak to anyone. Got in the car. Gave Owen one address. Sunridge. Luca was waiting near the door when he arrived, like he already knew. "Is it done?" he asked. Nathan crouched down. "It's done, buddy." Luca nodded, satisfied, certain, like he had never once considered any other outcome. Luca packed like someone who had never owned very much. 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants. Everything was folded carefully, the way a child folds things when nobody taught them, but they did it anyway because the things mattered. Then he reached under his bed and pulled out a drawing. Crayon. 2 figures, a small one and a tall one, are standing close, hands connected by a single unbroken line. "Who are these?" Nathan asked. "Me and you." Nathan looked at him. "But I hadn't come yet when you drew this." Luca looked up with those steady eyes. "Mama said you were coming, so I drew it ready." Nathan took the drawing, held it the way he had held contracts worth millions, carefully, like the wrong amount of pressure might damage something irreplaceable. In the car, Luca sat in the back and watched the city like it was the most extraordinary thing he had ever seen. What was that building? Why was that light red? How fast were they going? Nathan answered every single one. Owen glanced in the rearview mirror once. Then again. The second time, he was smiling. "Sir," he said quietly, "you look different." Nathan watched Luca's reflection in the window. Wide eyes. Endless questions. A whole world being discovered one block at a time. "I am different," he said, and meant it completely. Richard Hale's name came off the building on a Wednesday. No announcement. No press release. Just workers on scaffolding, and letters coming down one by one, until the wall was clean again, like he had never been there at all. His shares were bought at minimum value. His seat on the board is gone. 15 years of presence were erased with the kind of efficiency Richard himself had always admired. Nathan stood in the boardroom that same week and said exactly 3 sentences. "A decision was made 15 years ago without my knowledge that cost a woman her career, her support system, and ultimately contributed to her dying alone. It cost me 4 years with my son. That will never happen again in this company, at any level, for any reason." Nobody argued. Nobody spoke at all. Afterward, Owen handed Nathan a folder. Every payment Richard had made, every document he had buried, every truth he had kept sealed for 15 years. All of it finally on paper, finally visible. Nathan looked at it for a long moment, then closed it. "File it, in case it's ever needed." He picked up his jacket. "I have to get home." Owen looked up slowly. In 15 years, he had heard Nathan say those words hundreds of times. Casually, automatically. The way you say something that means nothing because nothing is waiting for you there. This time was different. Owen heard it immediately. He didn't say anything, just nodded, and watched Nathan Cole, for the first time in 15 years, leave like he actually meant it. 6 months later, Luca Cole had opinions about breakfast. Strong ones. Pancakes were superior to eggs in every measurable way, and he was prepared to defend this position at any hour, with the kind of absolute certainty that only a 5-year-old can carry without embarrassment. Nathan had learned to make pancakes. He had also learned that a good bedtime story required at minimum 3 voices, 2 of which had to be animals, and that the ending always had to include someone going home. He had learned what it meant to be waited for. The kitchen was warm. Syrup on the counter. Luca's feet were swinging beneath the chair because they didn't quite reach the floor yet, but they would. "Daddy." "Yeah, buddy. Is this our home now? Forever?" Nathan looked around the house. The same walls, the same rooms, the same space that had always been large and quiet and full of everything, furniture, art, silence, except the one thing that made any of it matter. It didn't feel the same anymore. "Forever," he said. Luca nodded. Satisfied. The way children are satisfied when the world simply confirms what they already knew. No celebration. No surprise. Just yes. Of course. Obviously. He went back to his pancakes. And Nathan Cole, the man who had built an empire and called it a life, sat across from a 5-year-old boy with syrup on his chin, and understood for the first time what he had actually been building it for. Nathan Cole walked into that orphanage to write a check. He walked out with a son. The one thing his money could never buy found him, in a room full of children, through a 4-year-old who never once doubted what he knew. Now here is the question only you can answer. If Luca had stayed with the group that day, if nobody had stopped him, if he had never run across that room, would Nathan have ever known his son existed? Think about that. Drop your answer in the comments. Rate this story from 0 to 10. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe and ring that bell, because next week another story is coming that will hit you somewhere you weren't expecting. You will not want to miss it.